Hello, my name is Tim Parody. I'm with the Center for Digital Strategies at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth College. I'd like to welcome Rod Thorn, Director of Communications for PepsiCo. Rod, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Great. And we'd love to talk to you for just a couple minutes about social technology and how PepsiCo is employing that. And I know it's in a major way, so I guess maybe I'll just start with that and say, how do you think of social and how it's being used at Pepsi right now?
There's no way to deny it. It is a revolution that's here now, and it's not just a channel or a tool to use. It is something that we have to factor into just about every plan that we have, because it impacts us across the organization through corporate branding, through corporate communications, through crisis communications, internally, externally. So it's just a vital piece of what we do. We want to be where the conversations are taking place, and we also want to bring the conversations to us. So it's just a vital tool for us and an environment that we need to be in.
So what are some of the things that you're doing to use social tools? You have 19 brands with revenue of more than $1 billion each, so
That's
you
right.
have such a major interaction with consumers every day. What are some of the tools that you're using? What are some of the ways that you're using these technologies?
Well, those brands have relationships with consumers, right? So it's kind of strange to say that a brand has that, but they do. I mean, a lot goes into a consumer standing in front of a shelf, making a choice between one or the other, right? So we are in there with something, for instance, in Gatorade, we have Gatorade Mission Control, which is it is a room in the middle of our marketing department at Gatorade where conversations on social media are being monitored 24/7. And that helps us understand how to innovate with the product, how to satisfy consumer needs based on how they're using it. That's just one. And take that over those 19 brands, and we have a lot more than 19 brands, and imagine we're doing that kind of thing to implement our social media listening as well as communicating. So it's a two-way street to help further cement the relationships with those brands. That's just one example. Pepsi Refresh Project is another one where we literally ask people to vote on projects of how to further the world, how to move the world forward, right? So that's the democratization of social responsibility and of communications and of messages. And what the interesting thing about that is people get to vote on their favorite thing, but even if they don't win, they're learning more about how to communicate and raise money for their projects, even if they don't win. So our job now is, yes, we are in charge of our corporate reputation, but we really want to move the company to be an advocate and a transformative force for change.
I wonder whether social technology doesn't sort of raise the bar for the level of corporate stewardship that people want to see. Does it make it more incumbent upon all kinds of consumer companies to sort of show a bit more of what they're doing to help the world, if you will?
I can't speak for others, but its performance with purpose is embedded into our DNA. It is what we do. We think that if we do good, it's good for society, and vice versa, right? So we're about delivering sustainable growth by investing in a healthier future for people and for the environment. We think that will go to our bottom line. So I can't speak for others, but it is absolutely part of everything we do. That's how we come up with a 100% plant recycled bottle made out of plants, byproducts of our products. That's how we've changed the way oranges are grown, with a low carbon fertilizer for our Tropicana oranges, for a smaller carbon footprint. And I could go on and on. Sun Chips entirely compostable bag. That's what I mean, is it's woven into what we do.
And all those stories, obviously, you have now an easier way to tell them through the use of social technology. What about internally? There are so many moving parts at Pepsi. How have you found the technology used internally, and what kind of benefits have you seen?
Well, we have 300,000 employees give or take. I mean, approximately 300,000. They're all over the world in food, beverages, and internationally. And one thing we do is we have a collaboration system, Pepsi collaboration inside. So it's almost like a Facebook for communicators inside the company, where we learn from each other and share best practices. So that's one thing. The other thing is we take a look at our employees and we say, how could we? I think it's 67% of them are on Facebook, and that number changes all the time. And the average person has 130 friends. If we just got half of them, we'd have something like 20 billion impressions, right? If we mobilize them to be brand ambassadors. So that's critical for us. So we're in a situation where we, like any company, we promote when we can, protect when we have to, right? And thankfully, a lot more promoting than protecting, because our portfolio is shifting into a much more healthier, good for you type of situation. So our employees have e-postcards that they can put on social media to correct misperceptions about our products, promote things that we want to promote. You'd be surprised how many products you actually use that are ours on a daily basis.
Interesting. And then there are all the more ways now to find out about those. So tell me a little bit about where you see social taking a major company like Pepsi in the coming years, in terms of how it might shake up, workflows, or how it just may shake up customer interactions. Any areas that you see as sort of maybe at the forefront of change because of social?
Well, we do an awful lot of research to get customer insights, consumer insights. There's no better way than to get it in real time by these monitoring systems and through social media. So what we have a chance to do is co-create the future of our products. We've seen that with our project Democracy, where people voted on what kind of product they wanted. We came out with 3 new flavors. That it wasn't just somebody sitting back in our labs deciding what it should be. Granted, we're not going to put something out there that's not going to be good, but we're asking the world to come in and tell us how they want to see the future go. That's transformative.
It's interesting, right? When you've had a company for so long that had so many people who would spend their time on that, to suddenly draw in the actual end users, that's pretty major change.
And they're not thinking about that.
Sure.
They're still thinking that, but they're getting input from others. If Henry Ford had said, what could I do better? And people would have said, give me a faster horse, right? So he had to be thinking about it. So without him, there wouldn't have been the car, right? So we still need our people with their deep consumer insights thinking along with, but it's not in place of, it's along with the consumer.
Interesting. Anything else on social that we haven't touched on that you think is noteworthy?
You just have to not look at it as messages coming from on high. There is a fear in companies to want to control. They feel like I have to get it just right and control this thing. It's not like that anymore. And in the panel earlier, I had this idea that it's like the first corporate communications was the CEO, God, telling Moses, and he wrote it down on a tablet. Today, and and the populace nodded and did what Moses said. And today, that would have an unlike and a like and a comment section on it. So there is no more purely top-down, or there shouldn't be.
You just don't have that kind of control of a message anymore. You have to just be a part of the conversation then.
Get in the stream. The conversation is going to take place whether you like it or not. So you'd best be in there to put your best foot forward.
Great. Well, thanks very much. We're with Rod Thorn, Director of Communications for PepsiCo. Rod, thanks so much for coming to talk.
You're welcome.
Thank you.